Welcome back. It's time for our rapid fire roundup, and who better to sound off than Jimmy Failla? I always say your last name wrong.
Nobody gets it right. My family mispronounces it.
I'm so sorry.
My mom says
One day I'll get it
Failla.
right.
My dad says Failla. Don't feel bad at all.
All right.
And I never would have corrected you.
Okay.
Take
You're
it away.
way too kind. Well, you are the host of Fox News Saturday Night. I do know that.
With Jimmy Failla. Okay.
All right, we'll follow up after the show. But all I can think about right now is lunch, because I had to skip my lunch today, and I'm craving McDonald's. I don't know if you like McDonald's at all.
Wow.
But did you hear about this new burger?
You're great at sarcasm.
I don't know if you've heard about this new Big Arch burger, but I thought it was so interesting because they're debuting it in Canada and Portugal.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting place to roll out a new burger.
Yeah, it's strange because normally it would happen here. If you look around the country, we're burger enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Okay, in this country. But I guess those are smaller markets because they usually test this somewhere. And if it catches on, they come here. I don't know in this case why they doubt the potency of this burger here. I don't know if you've been to Disney World lately. We're not exactly, winning gold medals in fitness in this country. So for my money, this is a miss. Bring it on home to America. Jimmy's in line.
What's the thing on the bottom of it? It was like patties, cheese, patty, and there was something on the bottom. What was
That's
on
a
the
pair
bottom?
of Spanx. It comes with a pair of Spanx, and you put it on right there in the restaurant and go back to work without all the shame that you'd otherwise feel.
That's a really convenient burger. I'm surprised nobody came up with that yet.
Shocking. A new survey came out today about a half of fare riders in the MTA are skipping out on their fares. You used to be a cab driver.
Yes.
Did anyone skip out on your fare?
I had a guy on 9th Avenue right by the Westway Diner, which is on 43rd and 9th. Not only did he get out, but he ran with such a determination, it was flattering. like you didn't have to go that hard. He could have walked away briskly, and I would have been like, there went that one. But I had one. But it's a bigger issue, obviously, on the subway.
Yeah.
The reason they do it more aggressively on the subway is you don't feel like you're robbing an individual. It's just a collective thing, whereas it's personal on a cab. And they see you in that front seat, and they're like, this guy has enough problems. You know what I mean? They see the wardrobe. They hear my music choices.
Right.
I've actually had people give me extra money. They weren't even in the cab. They're like, here you go. But I've had two guys jump out, that guy and somebody else. But that's the bigger problem in New York is it doesn't get enforced.
Right.
Cabbie, there's at least like this vigilante attempt to run after you. Not that we're going to catch you.
But the crazy thing in New York, so like you have those doors that you can go through if you have suitcases, and if one of those opens, it's always a flood of people who go through. And as somebody pointed out this morning, it's people with like big bank duffel bags, and you know they work in white collar jobs, and yet they're just running through this door because like the culture, we've lost the culture.
Once that door opens, okay, it's the southern border. It's just like, and then Mayorkas comes by to say the subway's secure. You're like, what do you mean there's 1,000 people that just ran on the train? It's nuts.
We need a czar or something.
The subways are.
This has all been tough news, but I've got some good news for you. Next month, Prince Harry is coming to New York to solve climate change, which is actually makes me, for the first time in my life, really concerned about climate change because he's on the case. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I'm curious as a cab driver to know where he's going to land the private jet. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes they go to Teterboro. Sometimes they go to LaGuardia. It depends on traffic patterns. But listen, it's smart for them to associate themselves with something that looks benevolent and good, but they're going to get mocked for it because no one takes this seriously because of the joke I made earlier, that no one is following their own initiatives. You dig? It's like if I come around and tell you we've got to quit smoking and I sell you the patch and then light a cigar, do you really invest in my manifesto? No. So it'll be fun to see him come, and he'll make up a story about getting chased by the paparazzi. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
He got in a high-speed chase in New York. For those of you watching at home, that means 9 miles an hour, okay? No one's going anywhere. No one. Bank robbers flee on foot here because it's faster than driving.
He's looking for somebody to chase him because he's got to keep being fed by the attention. Speaking of attention, this is a guy you want to give your attention to on Saturday nights. You got to watch him. Fox News Saturday Night, Jimmy Failla. Thanks for being with us.
The best. We'll always have this.